Good afternoon. Good night. Big breaking pitch from Aiden Jimenez, and the Hogs have struck out 15 Ole Miss batters today. Jimenez winds and deals. He struck him out swinging. The 18th strikeout of the game ends it, and this one belongs to the Razorbacks. Aloy batting. Here's the pitch. Behiva swinging a drive. Way back into deep left center field. Out of here. The set and the pitch. Ground ball to second base. Souza makes the play. Kozel covers. They got him. Ole Miss leaves him loaded. 0-1 pitch. Swing. Fly ball deep right field. Sanford going back. It's over his head and out of here. Behiva Aloy has hit his second home run of the ball game. And it's a go-ahead home run in the ninth inning. Aloha, Aloy, aloha the lead.
Live from the Busch Light Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
So your first SEC series of the year resulted in a win. Now, it didn't look like it was going great initially. Zach Root, as Dave Van Horn characterized yesterday, had his poorest SEC outing of the season. Razorbacks dropped game one in Oxford, Mississippi, and Swayze Field, then won games 2 and 3. Now, we're going to see what happens here later on at 3 o'clock today. Welcome in. We're live at the Hoover Met this morning. Our coverage brought to you by our friends at Crabtree RV Center and Kofer's Boat Center. It's been fun being here the last couple of days. And, Tommy, I don't know if you've kind of gotten that itch, like, I've been here, we've been talking about it, but being that this team was a top 4 seed, I'm going to guess that they're ready to play. Like, they've watched a bunch of baseball at this point, whether on the television or here in the ballpark. I mean, that is one of those things with this tournament change in formats like basketball. Top 4 seeds don't play till Friday.
Yeah, and, the thing is they got to travel later. It's been a while since Arkansas finished their regular season at home. Generally, they finished in a place like Vanderbilt a couple of years ago, Starkville, and bus right over to Hoover. Got to finish at home, stay at home, get there on Wednesday, watch a little ball, get comfortable, and I'm like you. I'm sure they're itching to play today for the first time in basically a week. And that's part of the routine. They finished the regular season on Sunday. They've had to wait a little while. So they're I'm sure they're chomping at the bit.
Mm-hmm. It is a Fastball Friday. It's brought to you by QC Kinetics. Hopefully we'll see some solid fastballs from Zach Root and the rest of the pitching staff later on today. And also want to give you this tidbit also this morning. Ole Miss and Arkansas are also playing at softball here in 2 hours. They moved that game up. Inclement weather expected tonight. So you got a chance to beat Ole Miss a couple times this weekend.
Hey, QC Kinetics, the big focus in America today is on your health, and more people are looking beyond pills and beyond steroids and beyond surgery. At QC Kinetics, they've been on the cutting edge of the medical revolution since 2018, providing regenerative medicine that will heal your aching joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. We'll tell you more throughout the morning. Say goodbye to the chronic pain and live your best life this summer. 479-999-1234. That's 479-999-1234 for QC Kinetics.
So the winner of today's game will play tomorrow at 3:30. That'll be the setup for that. We'll see if Arkansas is able to advance. It was interesting to listen to Dave Van Horn talk about this yesterday. They were practicing at Hoover High. And just that setup and everything else. We'll get to some audio from him coming up in just a bit. But, Tommy, some teams that have gotten hot thus far, Tennessee, after struggling the last 5 weeks, has won 2 games, including beating the number 1 seed Texas last night in extra innings. You have the Texas A&M Aggies, though it looks like they lost Jace Laviolette for the rest of this tournament, maybe the rest of postseason. Yeah. He's got a cast. They beat Auburn 3-2. So some teams that were not playing good baseball at all, starting to turn it on a little bit in Hoover.
That's got to be deflating for A&M. Did you see the play? Were you there when that game was going on?
Yes, I looked. I didn't. So I watched it on the television right next to me. I didn't see it I wasn't looking at the play when it happened. But he tried. I mean, he tried, and he's just like this. I can't.
For that, and listen, for those that have been there, and I have not, so I'm not going to pretend I know this pain. But when a baseball coming in at 90+ miles an hour hits you on the knuckles as you're holding the bat, there's no way around. The excruciating pain. And you're right. He went to first. They looked at it. They put something on it, and he was giving the old cut sign at the throat. Like, hey, get me out. I got to go. And I was watching some of the press conference following it. I guess the X-rays came back bad. So that's got to be when your best player, one of the better players in the country, has something like that happen, and I can't imagine he could be effective the rest of the way. He's done. That's got to be deflating for the team as they go on and see they're playing LSU later on. Is that right? So they'll play after the Arkansas game, and
Correct.
Arkansas, if they win, gets the winner of that game. I would think that'd be deflating. That A&M's on the kind of run that if they could beat LSU and keep this thing, they might sneak into the field. That's what they're playing for at this point, trying to get in the field. I'm afraid that inside fastball last night, or inside pitch at least, that hit him on the hands, may have ended their run for the tournament.
So it's 72 and sunny here in Hoover, Alabama this morning. I know in across Arkansas, it's a lot of places it's in 60s. Tommy, it looks like we're going to have some pool weather. I know that our buddy Sean, the fence man's at Lake Washita this weekend. We'll catch up with him coming up on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline to our Fence Man Friday picks. We're going to have some good weather, except unfortunately, it looks like we're going to have some rain. We got good weather today. It looks like. It looks like we're going to have rain,
right?
Well, I'm saying today's good weather.
You're talking about Hoover, yeah?
No, in Arkansas.
Well, I mean, they'd move that softball game, like I said. Yeah, I think the day is going to be good today, but 90% chance of rain for Saturday, 85% chance Sunday, another 85% chance of rain on Monday, and a 60% chance on Tuesday. Chance of rain Wednesday, chance of rain Thursday, chance of rain Friday. So. Yeah, get your boat and paddle ready. It's going to rain like a foot in the next week or so.
Yippee.
Yeah, so enjoy today. Hey, if you didn't stay up and watch the Western Conference Finals last night, big win by the Thunder. I know our friend Bruce Stanton over Pradco Fishing's excited. Fishing this weekend might be out with all the rain, but if you need anything, go to lurenet.com. That's lurenet.com. All orders over $35 get free shipping in the U.S. That's lurenet.com.
He's earned everything, and he keeps working, and there's no I'm done, I'm finished, I'm good. That ain't who he is, and it's an everyday process for him. And I'm telling you what he's locked into right now, winning. That's what his mind, this is all great, but what he's locked into, winning.
This is the opening drive.
So that's Sean Calipari talking about one of his former players, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who was awarded the NBA MVP last night as Oklahoma City takes down Minnesota Game 2. They'll head to Minnesota up 2-0, which is great basketball-wise. So you've got two MVPs, the Cals coach, Derrick Rose and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, which is always good for recruiting. But I also want to tie in a couple other basketball things. Tommy, I know you're a TikTok man, being that your kids love it. And you can read into this.
Maybe
what you will.
Maybe me and you can do a TikTok during the break. Maybe we can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be waving here. I'll be waving, and you just do whatever.
Yeah.
But TikTok news for all of you that I know are concerned about this. This is why occasionally, I actually talk about it. So, Adu Thero posted. Colton, I know you've probably seen this. Different graphics, NBA Combine, draft stuff. 36 days yesterday. So why is that important? You asked this morning. Well, 36 days, the NBA draft happens. So I think there's an expectation. I mean, now he can change his mind between now and, I guess, next Wednesday? But I think there's, based on that post, it sure seems like that he's made up his mind that he's going to stay within the NBA draft process. Now, again, something could flip, something could switch, who knows? But reading that what you will, I'm reading into it that he's going to ultimately decide to move on from Arkansas and pursue the next level of basketball.
I think he's ready for that. He's probably weighing the options of what the financial option is back at college and weighing all that out, which, now is a harder decision that's ever been before. But we've talked about this for 2 or 3 days. I mean, if you want to read the tea leaves based on TikTok, be my guest. But I think in the end, we'll just wait and see what he says officially. But I don't know how to interpret all that off TikTok and come to an actual conclusion.
Well, I think when you post something like that, you're insinuating that this is what I've been working towards and this is what I'm going to do. That's what I'm under the impression of.
Okay.
That's what I don't think I'm getting the cart in front of horse when I see something like that. But that's what I at least took away when I saw that post. I guess it was yesterday and everything else. Also saw, now this is a more going back a little bit. How about U.S. Reed being elected to the Southwest Conference Hall of Fame. He's going to be inducted coming up in August, on August the 5th. We talked about the late Oliver Miller and this happening for him last year. U.S. Reed is going to be inducted August the 5th in Waco. He's the 14th Razorback basketball player, 74th Razorback overall, but another great Razorback basketball player under Coach Sutton that's heading to the Southwest Conference Hall of Fame.
I guess do we still need a Southwest Conference Hall of Fame? I guess we do. I mean, I saw this release. I mean, for some reason. At what point do you run out of people to induct? I mean, right? This thing's got. I mean, at some point they play out the string on this deal, right? I mean, in the SEC they don't have a. Does the SEC have an SEC Hall of Fame? I know we have where you induct the legends, and they'll do that at the different events. They'll declare someone an SEC legend, but have I missed that, or is there an SEC Hall of Fame or is that something they're going to introduce at some point? Though, with all the conference movement and all the flux we've had, and what teams are in what leagues, and the SEC's expanded twice in the last 15 years or so. At what point does something that hadn't been around for 30 years just run out? I mean, I saw that with U.S. Reed, and I was a little bit surprised that, and we saw it with Oliver Miller. But at what point do we quit talking about the Southwest Conference and Hall of Fame?
I don't know. We have fun. Like Andy Mountain Home is having fun this morning, saying Eddie Sutton is an SEC legend. I know we've kind of joked as Arkansas fans when Cal has a certain Kentucky guy that has specials. Like, well, hey, that's a great Arkansas Razorback right there. And it's kind of the same token with like the SEC. Arkansas accomplished a lot in the Southwest Conference in football, basketball, and baseball, and now they are a part of the SEC. But you have certain schools like Oklahoma. Like if Oklahoma goes on to win another softball national championship, and be like, man, that's the 5th straight softball championship for the SEC, even though they were in the Big 12 for the last few years. So I think they just I don't know. I kind of understand where you're coming from, where it's like it's been dissolved for a number of years. Yeah.
But I also wonder why we take guys like Todd Day. Well, that's not a good example. Take a player like, say, Joe Klein. I'm just giving an example. But we've had players that never played in the SEC that were named SEC legends for Arkansas when they played in the Southwest Conference days.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll have Texas be represented with one of the SEC legends, and they'll bring Vince Young out or something, So it just doesn't,
Doesn't do it for you?
It doesn't fit, right? It just doesn't. The hand doesn't go in the glove, So I don't understand why we keep doing this, other than someone thinks it's a good idea for social media.
Okay. Well, you're probably right on that. But I do want to give him some credit, considering he hit one of the best shots in the history of Razorback basketball as well.
One of the biggest shots we've ever seen. All right, that's your opening drive, and one of the most relived ones, too. Opening drive brought to you by Oaklawn Sports. We got the NBA Conference Finals. We also have the Hockey Conference Finals going on with the NHL. Major League Baseball season is in full swing, along with PGA and live action. So, hey, this weekend we're going to get pretty comfortable with our phones and our TVs, it looks like, after today, because the rain is a-coming. So find all your favorite games and watch those. I know we're going to have a lot of, that's the one thing the NBA does well. They don't get into their own way. They don't try to play these Eastern and Western Conference Finals in the same day. So you'll have a great basketball game to watch the next couple of days on TV. New customers earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets with the Oaklawn Sports app. Also a 10% profit boost on parlays, and funding is easier than ever with the Oaklawn Sports app. Debit and credit cards, PayPal, Apple Pay, Venmo, and more. Bet with Arkansas's best sports betting app. Bet with a brand new trust. Bet with Oaklawn Sports.
All right, since he is on his way to the lake, bring him in with some lake music this morning. Sean, our buddy at the fence, man. Sean, where are we on our travels to Lake Washita?
Oh, we're running a little behind. That's what we're doing. You're always trying to get everything gathered up, get the cooters gathered up, get the dogs gathered up, get the wife gathered up, try to hook onto the camper. Man, you think you got the best plan, but sometimes it doesn't work like you want it to, even though you've done it 100 times.
Nothing will test a marriage more than backing the trailer or docking a boat. I mean, it'd be a lot. You could sit with a lawn chair at the boat launch at the ramp this weekend in your cooler and just have a hell of a time. I mean, you talk about entertaining. That could be the entertainment at the lake and never get in the water.
We do that a lot, actually. We're right there at Denby Point, or not Denby, Shangri-La, Thompson Bend. We sit right there at that big old ramp, and the people who bring their boats out once a year, man, they're kind of fun to watch. So,
Well, I hope you have fun this weekend. I know we're going to have some fun picking some games here coming up. We do it every single Friday. Here is our Fence Man Friday picks. We'll get into the ones last week, and we'll talk about the games later on today.
Sean, what happens in Athens these next two games with Georgia having a 1-0 lead in the series?
As much as I want to vote for my Aggies, I think they're going to get swept.
I also think Georgia is going to ultimately go on to sweep this series.
I'm with Sean. Georgia sweeps the series. A&M's done.
South Carolina got a big win yesterday against the LSU Tigers in Columbia. I think South Carolina splits these next two, and they go on to win the series, Tommy.
LSU wins the last two.
I want South Carolina to beat
Me
LSU,
too.
so I'm going to go with South Carolina.
Tommy, what happens in the Red River rivalry here in baseball between the Sooners with Texas up one game?
Split the last two. Texas wins the series.
Yeah, I'm the exact same way.
Nope, I think Texas is going to sweep the whole series.
Sweep. Tommy, what happens in this series between Arkansas and Tennessee?
I think I'm going to follow the recent trends. They split the next two, and Tennessee takes the series.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a similar situation to what we saw in Baton Rouge, where Arkansas doesn't necessarily get clobbered tonight here, Bob Walker, but they lose tonight, and they find a way to win Game 3.
I'm afraid our Hogs are not going to. I think Tennessee's going to take the first two. We probably win the last one.
All right, so we got some picks today. Got two games today. Arkansas and Ole Miss at 3 o'clock.
I had a lot of dings there earlier. I thought I was going to have to change my name to Notre Thomas, but and then in the end, it didn't end. It didn't end as well as it started there.
It didn't end as well.
Notre Thomas. We could do something with that.
Notre Thomas.
Yeah.
That's it. Put that on the the list of things to do, Colton.
Yeah.
Ole Miss at Arkansas today at 3 o'clock here at the Hoover Met. Razorbacks took 2-1 earlier on this season after dropping the initial game. We'll just might as well start with the first game, guys. Tommy, what happens? Does Arkansas advance on a Saturday, or does Ole Miss keep it rolling into Saturday?
Woo pig suey. Zach Root's going to have a I hate to call it bounce back performance. He didn't have his best stuff last time. He's got it today. Woo pig suey, Razorbacks.
I think listening to Dave Van Horn talk yesterday, like Zach also didn't have his best performance against Ole Miss, and maybe there's a little something there. So I know they won the series, but Sean, I'm with Tommy. I think the Razorbacks get it done today against the Rebels.
Man, our defense is pretty good. If we can get our offense up and running and put the balls on the ground or put them out of the park, we've got this one won.
I think we're in consensus then. All right, Texas A&M against LSU. We were talking about Jace Laviolette earlier. He's out for the not just the SEC tournament. Looks like probably the season. Feel bad for the guy because he's one of the best players in college baseball. Tommy,
Sean,
what happened?
is the wife right there? Is she listening? You getting the eye right now on picking A&M?
Yes, I am, most certainly.
I knew you'd go with A&M. I'm going to go with LSU. I think A&M's run the string. Lavalette getting injured last night. They've used a bunch of pitching. Ty, give me LSU.
You know what? I think that A&M, while they aren't going to win the whole thing, I think they somehow, some way find a way to win this game. LSU travels really well to this tournament. I think their fans are going to leave disappointed and head back to Baton Rouge. I've got A&M winning. All right, so who wins the whole
good
thing?
For the Hogs.
Who wins the whole thing? Who takes the SEC tournament in 2025? The number one seed's already been bounced. I've got Tennessee doing it. Tennessee has played bad baseball the last 5 weeks, but for whatever reason, last few games here, they figured it out, especially last 9 extra innings. So I've got Tennessee win the SEC tournament here in Hoover.
I've got the Arkansas Razorbacks playing Tennessee, and I got the Arkansas Razorbacks winning the SEC tournament.
Man, you must have been reading my mind. That's what I was thinking. When I was watching this thing, I think our Hogs are going to be able to go to the final against Tennessee, and it's going to be a nail-biter. I mean, I think it's going to be like what we saw last night with Texas and Tennessee. It's going to be 10th inning, and someone's going to hit a home run, and the Hogs are going to walk off with a win.
Well, I think that's one for the storybooks if it ends up playing out right. All right, well, Sean, I know you've got some the stuff you're doing at Lake Washita this weekend, but when you're coming back, I know we got a lot of stuff we got to take care of here in the natural state, all things fencing. I'm staying with some friends this weekend. They've got a great controlled access gate, and I know you guys can do things like that, not just residentially, but commercially as well.
Oh, yeah. You need controlled access. From even a simple walk gate that you want controlled access to a massive commercial gate, 18-wheelers, big trucks, small cars. ornamental iron. We have the ability to come in and sit down with you and figure out exactly what you want your interest to look like, and we can design the gate, we can have it built, we can build it ourselves, we can put the access control, and with today's technology, you could be halfway around the world and operate your gate, know who's coming in, who's going, what lawn crew's there, or just, kids coming back and forth. It's amazing what today's technology does, and we have the expertise for that and the ability to build any type of amazing fence you want to go around your facility or property. So we're excited.
All right, 479-782-3936 is the number, 782-3936. Sean, have a great Memorial Day weekend. We'll see you next Friday in front of the regional.
Thank you, guys. Have a great one.
All right, the fence man. He ain't afraid of no work. That's why he's not in the radio business. 9:21 here on the Morning Rush. Glad you're with us. We got more coming up from Hoover, and your calls are welcome on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. I know the weekend looks a little bit wet, and a lot of times we get these heavy rains that washes out gravel and sand and things maybe you got on a job site, or maybe your driveway is a gravel driveway and needs more. Call our friends at APAC and Standard Materials Group, 479-587-3300. They are your number one source for top-quality aggregates and ready-mix concrete, plus asphalt as well. 479-587-3300 for APAC and Standard Materials Group.
What did Dave Van Horn have to say leading up to this game against Ole Miss? We'll jump into that in our Hog Update. Arkansas softball, by the way, playing at 11. All that's coming up here, live from Hoover.
Root kicks and deals. He struck him out swinging.
This is Fastball Friday on the Morning Rush. Presented by QC Kinetics. Get real lasting relief from chronic joint pain.
Largemouth bass will be spawning soon at ponds and lakes all over Arkansas and Oklahoma. One of the best lures to catch them on at this time is the famous Yum Dinger. We make them by the truckloads in Fort Smith in 3, 4, 5, and 6-inch sizes, and they are in tackle boxes of bass anglers all over the U.S. and all over the world. Wacky rigging the 5-inch model can't be beat for spawning bass. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Yum Dinger.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because our Kansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
This is the Morning Rush.
No, hell no.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas. More than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
White perch, big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sacalé, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Taco Bell brought back crispy chicken nuggets, and I can't believe how good they are.
Why can't you believe it?
Because you're Taco Bell. Taco Bell.
Yeah, but a taco place can do nuggets, right?
Yeah, the Hidden Valley Fire Ranch is awesome.
Okay, they're good, but we're not a chicken place.
When did you guys become a chicken place?
Chicken? Can't a taco place do good nuggets? Are we not allowed to do both?
What do you mean?
You think it's cool to do both, right? Why are you looking at me like that?
Are they okay?
I don't think so.
We're totally a taco place. That's a chicken place. That's also a taco place.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started. Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Take that all day.
I need to sit though.
Finally make a putt. Let the tap in force.
Golf is back. Shop polos, hoodies, and Q-zips at Rhoback.com.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. Baseball season is in full swing and we're into the NBA and NHL playoffs, and BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from the MLB, NBA, NHL, and UFC, BetOnline remains the best online source for all your sports wagering information. In between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. Bet online. The game starts here.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas. More than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl.
They're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
There's only one Razorback.
Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
Razorback fans, let's stand up and call those.
107 down.
This one belongs to the Razorbacks. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Colin. Alex has got room.
Everybody, Woo Big Suey.
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
You know, he knows that he didn't have his best stuff and didn't have his command, and first SEC game, and been pretty good after that though. So I would think personally, this would be a big start for him.
That was Dave Van Horn yesterday. They practiced at Hoover High, getting ready for this game at 3 o'clock against Ole Miss, talking about Zach Root's first SEC performance against Ole Miss. The Razorbacks lost 10-6, then took games 2 and 3. I know that was a question I had, Tommy, is like, do we see him like go all out? Like, is he going to be on a pitch count and everything else? I think Hagan, if I remember right, reading earlier this week, only pitched like 2 innings last year in the SEC tournament. I mean, unless Zach just gets pelted today, I think we see him much longer than that.
Hey, Tommy's on in here, so I'm going to do my best to answer the way that he would. Okay. You know, Zach Root, like I said earlier, is just going to basically have to go out there and give you one of those 7 2/3 innings, 9 strikeouts type of performance. He doesn't have to, but I think Tommy mentioned that he wanted to see a good bounce back from Root because it wasn't his best stuff coming off that great outing he had against the Longhorns. So you know that Root has that competitive fire in him. Every time that Coach Van Horn takes him off the mound, it kind of looks like Zach Root wants to punch him because he doesn't want to come out. That's the type of competitor that you want for your Friday night guy, for your starter, for your ace. And so if you had a team full of Zach Roots, and we'd be 50-0 right now. So I'm excited to see what the guy has in store. He's not the type of guy to blow all the fastballs past you, but he is crafty and he is competitive. So he is definitely going to have to deal in tonight against Ole Miss.
And you're, again, taking on these guys. Rebel scum. Later on. Tommy, you back?
No, I don't know.
Is he still out? I don't know where he is. All right, we'll keep it going here in your Hog Update. Softball got moved an hour and a half from now. So originally slated for later on tonight. Razorbacks are playing at 11 o'clock because of the possible weather that's going to be in Fayetteville. ESPNU still saying, I know we've had this question asked, hey, do we have softball on the radio? No, we do not. To my knowledge, I don't know if that's anywhere unless it's on like Sirius or something, but it is on ESPNU at 11 o'clock. So Memorial Day weekend is a weekend where people already leave early. Now you just have another reason to get less work done later on here this morning. All right, that is your Hog Update here on a beautiful Fastball Friday. Hog Update, always brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
All right, guys, it is National Road Trip Day. Sean the Fence Man's obviously taking a road trip down to Lake Washita. There's a possibility that I end up there this weekend, depending on how things shake out in Hoover. Colton, what is the next road trip? And I know you obviously have a kid on the way, so we might have to abstain from those coming up for a while. But is there a road trip that you'd like to take, that you've been wanting to take, that's on the bucket list?
When I was about 15 years old, I took a big, long road trip all the way up to Yellowstone National Park. And as a 15-year-old kid, you hate everything. You don't really enjoy the moment. So like a 12, 13-hour car ride is just unbearable. But now I've grown to enjoy some more roadside attractions and sights and things like that. So I'd love to get back up there someday and see that beautiful nature that God created up there.
I'm gonna throw a curveball for most people listening. I would say Asheville, North Carolina. And the reason I say that is because when we went to Chapel Hill 3 years ago, and I drove the 16, 17 hours, whatever it was, some of those, and Arkansas natural state, it's natural state for a reason, but some of the most beautiful scenery I've ever seen was in North Carolina there. So I would say, and Asheville just looks really cool. Let's ask our friend David Rath of Rath Mitsubishi. David, I know you just got, I think, back from a vacation. What's the next road trip on the bucket list this morning?
Well, Colorado was awesome, and I absolutely love driving out west. Get west on 40, and I can just that's it. Happy place, dude. Probably next road trip will probably be go back to Florida. We're kind of doing an every other trip thing. Go to the beach once and mountains the next time. So probably Florida next time.
And you're the mountains guy, and she's the beach guy, I'm guessing. Is that correct?
Kind of a little bit, but she really digs. My wife really likes Colorado too. We checked out that 11-mile canyon there close to the cabin we were at, and it was awesome. So cool.
Wow, there's plenty of awesome scenery. Whether it's Denver, Breck, Vail, there's so many cool places in Colorado. David, we were just talking about the weather that's affecting the softball game tonight. I know weather's affected not just Northwest Arkansas, but a lot of part of our state. Had some massive hail that to the likes I haven't ever seen in Northwest Arkansas. You guys have you guys have the hail sale. You've got a bunch of sales going on right now at Rath Mitsubishi.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting it, right? We did I did a bunch of price markdowns and everything, getting ready for Memorial Day, and so everything was already in a great spot. And then, we had an act of God come through and just thrash everything in the area. So, yeah, it's doubled up. So, yeah, folks are coming in there, and we're already busy. People are coming in and saving thousands on these hail discounted cars. If you've got a vehicle that's got hail damage, we've got guys on site doing estimates. They can coordinate with your insurance, all that good stuff. We can help you with that side of it if you want to get your vehicle fixed. If you want to trade it in, we can use I've had people in the past use the insurance money to help them trade out of vehicles, that maybe they were a little bit negative in, or they were looking to upgrade anyway, or whatever. They can use that rather than trying to fix that car. We can look at that option too. So it's a great opportunity to get save a lot of money in one direction or another if you're trying to trade, or just get your vehicle fixed. We can help you with that too. So a lot of our customers that recently bought vehicles from us that are trying to figure out what the heck do I do here, we can help you out with that.
I know I got to get my brakes looked at the Meineke Car Care Center when I get back. So whether it's going to the Meineke Car Care Center at both locations, or like you said, taking advantage of the deals right now, David's the guy to see. David, have a great Memorial Day weekend, and we'll chat next week.
Yeah, you guys too.
All right, that's David Rath of Rath Mitsubishi. Morning Rush Daily Question coming up next.
Postseason baseball is brought to you by Cofer's Boat Center in Fort Smith, providing family fun since 1971. Cofers.com. That's COPHERS.com.
There's a high drive by Vahiba. Deep into center. He got absolutely all of it. And it's back-to-back home run.
When I see you on the street.
Mega Millions now has better odds, bigger prizes, and the highest starting jackpot in America. Top prizes start at $50 million and increase rapidly until someone wins. What else is new? How about no more break-even prizes? Win anywhere from 2 to 10 times your bet. And the multiplier? It's no longer an add-on. Mega Millions is always $5 per play, bells and whistles included. Play today in stores or on the go. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
This is the Morning Rush.
Just knocked him into next week. Oh, my goodness. Wow, that wasn't fair.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're looking for the best used car your money can buy, check out our great selection of road-ready certified vehicles with warranty. If you're trading or selling your car, let us give you a free second opinion and leave with a check in your hand. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in the Meineke Car Care Center. Plus, follow us on Facebook for special offers and fun contests. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
I have enough trouble deciding what's for lunch. Imagine how stressed I was during the home buying process. Thankfully, Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, took the reins.
That's right, Ty. Buying or selling a home is the biggest financial decision you'll ever make. I have years of experience and proven expertise that help guide you through the process.
All my female friends love my house. I'm not kidding either.
Trust me like Ty did to guide you through every step of the way. Call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. Big decisions, simple solutions.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Top CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
The Golf Nut is thrilled to introduce new products for 2025, including Cobra Dark Speed Adapt Woods and Irons, Ping G440 Woods and Irons, and TaylorMade QI35 Woods. Lap putters, including the latest OZ model, are also available. Whether you want to improve your swing or enjoy the game, the Golf Nut offers a range of options. Book a lesson or fitting on one of our indoor simulators and experience golfing greatness. Visit the Golf Nut at 5121 Towson Avenue for your ultimate golfing destination.
Do you love cooking and being a part of a great team? Hey, it's Ty Richardson, and I was talking to Linda Newmeyer the other day. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, Newmeyer's Rib Room, and Newmeyer's Whippoorwill are hiring kitchen staff. Stop by any of the 3 restaurants in downtown Fort Smith. I used to work at a pizza place back in the day. Maybe I'd give it a shot. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the Whippoorwill, and Rib Room. Apply today and join the Newmeyer family.
You're hired. Come back tomorrow at noon for training.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Time for the Carpat Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpatsocial.com.
All right, so Sean is heading to Lake Washita. We got a lot of Great Lakes here in the natural state. We got some right outside. I'm going to be going to Lake Tenkiller in Oklahoma here in a few weeks. I've been to other lakes outside. I know in Alabama there's plenty of Great Lakes to take advantage of, but let's narrow it down to one, shall we? What is your go-to body of water in the state of Arkansas? We'll lump rivers into this. Obviously, a lot of you are partial to the White River, taking advantage of the trout fishing there. Maybe it's just your own pool. Maybe it's the neighborhood pool. Where do you like to go? Now, Colton, growing up for me, one of the joys of life as a little kid I had, kind of like Ryan was talking about yesterday, was going to Lake Washita and going to Shangri-La Resort. So even though I've had some great times at Lake Hamilton, some great times at Beaver Lake, had some good times at the White River, Lake Norfolk. I'm trying to think of some other parts of or bodies of water. The neighborhood pool in Hillsboro and Marlowe Manor and Little Rock back in the day. I will say some of the best memories I've ever had are at Lake Washita. So that is at the, despite so many great options here in the state, Lake Washita is number one. That's our Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. What is the answer, in your opinion, on this?
You know, the first thing that came to mind, you're talking about childhood. I thought about water parks at first, and then that just reminded me about
Wild River Country.
Well, it just reminded me of the disgust that I have for a great deal of water parks. I don't like the idea of community swim with 800 people that haven't showered, and there's just Band-Aids floating around and urine in the pool. It's just not my favorite scene. But a nice, good, clean lake like the ones I remember going to when my family takes a weekly trip that we do every year to Hot Springs Village, going out there on those nice lakes, Lake Balboa, things like that. I always remember going out on the pontoon boat that we would rent as a kid, jumping out there, wearing my life jacket, fishing with my dad. So those are really, really great memories out there. Lake Balboa in Hot Springs Village. That's
a good one. I had not been to Hot Springs Village until 2 years ago, and that might ultimately be the place I retire because of all the golf.
I could see you out there. I could see you out there just hanging around all the golf courses every day.
Well, you can golf. It's like one of those things where I know I'm going to retire near a golf course, but it's like you can golf at 9 different places. So and you can go to the lake.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's good golf.
And
great courses.
Yeah. Jay in Fayetteville texting, if you want to jump in on this conversation this morning, Lewis Automotive Group hotline is open for you, 877-377-6963. Brad Crawford, 24/7 Sports, is going to be joining us momentarily as well. He says, while it's not in Arkansas, it's close enough. Table Rock Lake. That is a really good one. And again, there are certain lakes, and certain rivers right outside. Like I guess it's the Elk River that's in Missouri that I've had some awesome float trip experiences on.
Floating to Buffalo is always a dream.
Buffalo is a great time. Dustin in West Fork enjoys the Party Cove at Lake Tenkiller. Yeah. I know there's Party Cove at
Cove on every lake that has a cove. I promise.
Yeah,
you
Skinny. I guess it's Skinny Dip Cove in Lake Hamilton. I
you
get
ever
them.
do that? You ever skinny dip in Lake Hamilton?
I've skinny dipped before, but not in Lake Hamilton. I'm going to be honest. I don't think anyone wants to see that, especially with all the ice cream I've been eating here at Hoover. That's Dustin West Fork this morning. We do have another text, and I talked about this earlier. Michael asking a question, is there any way to listen to the softball game on radio? Well, at least on ESPN Arkansas, and as far as I'm concerned, Arkansas airwaves, Michael, I don't believe there is a radio coverage of that. And again, just a reminder, that game is going to be 11 o'clock, so in about an hour and 15 minutes from now at Bogle Park, Game 1 between Arkansas and Ole Miss, also on ESPNU. One of the ones I haven't mentioned that Caleb and Pangburn just texted in, I'm not familiar, Caleb, with the Spring River, but Greer's Ferry. I haven't been to Greer's Ferry since I was like a sophomore or junior in high school. But let me tell you what, that is a good time. Greer's Ferry is it's a smaller lake. It's a lot of fun. So that is, Caleb, that just brought back a good memory with my buddy Ben and his family that I went to back in the day. So plenty of, again, it's starting to get that time of year just with the weather. We got a beautiful morning here in Hoover, Alabama. I know there's going to be some rain here in these next few days in Arkansas, but hopefully after that we can start taking advantage of the pool weather, the lake weather, and people have been taking advantage of the river weather as well. That is your Cart Path Social Morning Rush Daily Question. Want to get into a couple things about Cart Path this morning here on the Morning Rush. So I want to congratulate a few guys. Rob Rossi, Clay McConnell, who were first in the Spring League. Mason's aces, Mason McLaren and Michael Batter were second. And then Sean Nicholas and John Coriel were third, the old man and Mr. Robot. So congratulations on that. Let's see, their 1-year anniversary event is coming up as well, which I know they're really excited about. Corporate Scramble, College World Series watch party. I hope that Arkansas is a part of that when they have the opening ceremonies and everything else. They've got Cart Path Social After Dark, Family Fun Day is coming up. Again, that is June 12th through the 14th. Cart Path Social, 122 Grant Place in Lowell. If you're just hearing about it for the first time, it's the #1 indoor golf facility in all of Arkansas. Two of my college friends, Nate Gearhan, Christian Olson, they bust their butts. They have put together an awesome place. Again, cartpathsocial.com. It is always BYOB at Cart Path Social. Now, Colton, I don't have access to On3. Like, I don't pay for a subscription. So there's this story that just came out from Pete Nakos of On3. Pete Nakos is the one that kind of spearheaded the Nico Iamaleava information and the source. He did a really good job with that, got intel and information before a lot of other people. He's a younger reporter based out of Nashville. And he's talking with Sam Pittman about this season, last few years, and this story. And I just, like, as I'm thinking about this, and I haven't read I want to put some context around this. I haven't read the full column. I don't have access to it. So I'm just reading, I think, certain parts that have been talked about. One of the cuts from the article, or the excerpts, I guess, is Pittman saying, I have 3 years, and I've always said that I wanted to coach through that obligation. After that, I don't know. I said whenever I signed the contract after the 2021 season, I signed it for 5 more years, and then we won 7+ games, which was in my contract. One time I could get an extension. I realize people aren't happy with the football program right now. I completely understand that. I'm not happy. I wish that they were better. I hope Sam Pittman goes on to win 8 or 9 games this year. Do I think that's going to happen? No. But I do find it funny how people are like freaking out about, like, what do you want a coach to say, that he's not going to coach out his contract? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know what Arkansas fans are wanting in this situation. It's like, yeah, I'm going to coach 1 more year and then I'm going to retire. Like, what do you want him to say in this situation? Like, this is a guy, at least from the outside looking in, that still feels like he has some gas left in the tank. Mm-hmm. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to pan out for him this season. I hope it does. But I just find the criticisms of this piece and of Sam Pittman in this case just laughable.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Go ahead, Cole.
No,
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I think you're right. He's in a basically no-win position. Even if he gets 9, 10 wins, 8 wins, like you said, Ty, I don't think that people would. I mean, then what would the narrative turn into? Well, now we're stuck with him even more because he stumbled into winning 8 games, and that's just. Look, I think Coach Pittman is a great guy, and you're absolutely right. He's not going to say, oh, we'll just see how the season goes. If they fire me, they fire me. No, he's been a coach for 50 years. He's a guy that wants to compete. He's a guy that expects a lot out of himself. And if people think that getting rid of the coach will suddenly make you into an 8, 9-win team overnight, fighting for playoff contention, you have not paid attention to Arkansas football over the last 4 or 5 decades. It is not just change a coach and then you're at the top with everybody else. There are lots of things setting you back from a football program standpoint that are at your disadvantage. State population, number of recruits in your state that are worthy of playing in the SEC. You're at a huge disadvantage. Everybody knows that. But at the same time, Coach Pittman revived this program from 4 wins and 20 losses over the last, in a 2-year period. And while no, it hasn't been the most consistent, it has been as consistent as some of the best that we've had at this university, sparing when we were playing Rice and SMU and Baylor back in the day.
I think the best characterization, I can't take credit for this because I don't think I was the first one to say it, but the best comparison is probably the better term used here to Sam Pittman is Mike Anderson. Mike Anderson took a flailing program that had just been ripped apart by John Pelfrey, and while he didn't get it to where Eric Musselman and hopefully Cal is able to get it, he kept it steady. He kept it in a spot at least where it was still attractive for Muss or someone else. Sam Pittman has now gotten to this program to a point where it's not as attractive as the basketball job to certain prospective head coaches, but if down the line, whether he retires, is let go, or just there's a peaceful transition of some sort, it's way better now than it would have been if they just gone straight from Chad Morris. And that's why, again, I think that's an equitable comparison when you look at Mike Anderson. And I hate to think that this is true, but the best, I think, unfortunately, that we're going to see at this football program under Sam Pittman was that 9-win season. And listen, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I pray every day about it because I don't, and I think that's a waste of God's time, just to be honest. But, I hope I'm wrong. I truly hope. I've never, Tommy messes with me about it some time to time. And he's got to, by the way, folks, he has to deal with something. So, he'll be back momentarily. But he messes me. It's like, well, you like being right more than you do having it. It's like, no, I in this case, I hope I'm dead wrong. I hope Sam Pittman can take this program back to what it was in 2021 or prior to that. I just don't see it. So I think it's just, as you characterized, there are issues that he has to deal with as the head football coach at Arkansas, and it stinks in that situation. Hey, it is a Fastball Friday. We're live here at Hoover, Alabama at the SEC Tournament. Thanks to our friends at Crabtree RV Center and Kofer's Boat Center as well in Fort Smith. It's Fastball Friday. It's brought to you by QC Kinetics. I know there's chronic joint pain that you deal with. Tommy's had issues with his shoulder. Well, in 2025, get it moving again with QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. You can revitalize your joints with orthobiological treatments from QC Kinetics. No steroids, no drugs, no surgery. This is the future of medicine. Tens of thousands of people have taken advantage of it. Call QC Kinetics 479-999-1234. That's 479-999-1234 for QC Kinetics. In hour number 2, Brad Crawford, 24/7 Sports, is going to join us. We're getting his perspective, not just on Sam Pittman, but changes to the college football playoff that were made. We'll jump into that a little bit in hour number 2 as well. No more top 4 automatic qualifiers. Like if you win your conference, you're not initially given that 1 through 4 seed. We'll kind of jump into that a little bit more as we continue on. The Razorbacks taking on the Rebels later on at 3 o'clock today. Phil Elson, Bubba Carpenter here doing their pregame show at 2:30. Halftime following us, and then Ruskin and Zach following them as well. Hour number 2 on the way here on a Fastball Friday, live from the Hoover Met.
For decades, the Rebel Crawfish has been a tackle box staple. But now, get ready for the next generation. Introducing the all-new Rebel Matte series of Rebel Crawfish. 4 all-new Ultra Matte colors that eliminate glare and enhance realism, mimicking a natural crawfish like never before. The same iconic shape and swimming action, but now with a stunning matte finish. Upgrade to the all-new matte series of Rebel Crawfish today at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Dick's Sporting Goods, and local tackle shops everywhere. Rebel. Catch fish anywhere.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sportsbook in America. That's because our Kansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Family. That's what sets us apart. Crabtree RV Center, founded in 1950 by E.J. and Allen Crabtree, family owned and operated, serving Arkansas for 74 years.
I've been working full-time here at Crabtree RV since 1996 after graduating from the University of Arkansas, where I'm proud to carry on my grandparents' legacy.
I know if Mom and Dad could see Crabtree RVs today, they would be so proud.
Crabtree RV Center in Alma, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
This is the Morning Rush.
Taco Bell's all-white meat crispy chicken nuggets are back, but that doesn't make us a chicken place. I mean, yes, everyone loved them, like a lot. That's why we brought them back, along with our signature dipping sauces. But the crispy golden breading is actually tortilla chips, which is very taco place. So we're still a taco place. You think of us as a taco place, right? Who are we? No, I mean, we're good. It's just nuggets. Just crispy chicken nuggets, only at Taco Bell. Your taco place. It's also a chicken place. It's also a taco place. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for availability.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time every time.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
Call Ted McAvoy in Van Buren.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. There is a chance of seeing some late afternoon rainfall across the north. Our high temperatures right around the low 70s north, close to 80 south. Showers and thunderstorms with moderate to heavy rain across the north tonight, so we could see the potential for flooding. Overnight lows in the upper 50s to low 60s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 99 days.
Yeah, we're set up, and we don't feel like we're extending anybody or overdoing it. And it's almost like you have another. If you get to play 3, you get an opportunity to play another weekend series in a way.
A swing and a high drive. Charles Davalon out of here for a go-ahead home run. There's a high drive by Vahiva. Deep into center. He got absolutely all of it. And it's back-to-back home run. Aloy hits the ball over the center field fence after Davalon goes deep. 0-2. He struck him out swinging. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Big breaking pitch from Aiden Jimenez. And the Hogs have struck out 15 Ole Miss batters today. Jimenez winds and deals. He struck him out swinging. The 18th strikeout of the game ends it, and this one belongs to the Razorbacks. Aloy batting. Here's the pitch. Vahiva swinging a drive. Way back into deep left center field. Out of here. The set and the pitch. Ground ball to second base. Souza makes the play. Kozel covers. They got him. Ole Miss leaves him loaded. 0-1 pitch. Swing. Fly ball deep right field. Sanford going back. It's over his head and out of here. Vahiva Aloy has hit his second home run of the ball game. And it's a go-ahead home run in the 9th inning. Aloha, Aloy, aloha, the lead.
Live from the Busch Light Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Aren't you ready to watch this team play? Aren't you excited? I mean, this thing's been going on for a few days now. We still haven't got a chance to watch this Razorback baseball team. But now the day is finally here. 3 o'clock, Arkansas Ole Miss live at the Hoover Met. Phil Elson just walked in. Chatted with him a little bit before we came back on. I know he's excited. Bubba Carpenter, I guess, is on the road. If not, he didn't get in last night, so he's excited for this game. The Razorbacks beat Ole Miss earlier on this season, 2-1 after dropping game number 1. Zach Root did not have a great outing that day, but hopefully they're able to, again, bounce back. Not just from that outing that he had. He wants to, again, respond a little bit, and I know Dave Van Horn talked about it a little bit. There have been some questions asked. Hey, what does the rotation look like here these next few days if Arkansas is able to advance? Well, Dave answered that yesterday.
I'm curious, too, so we'll let you know after we get by the first game. I'm not going to tell you. We just don't want to we don't know yet. I mean, honestly, Wood's going to pitch, so we're not planning on pitching tomorrow, but if we had to, there's a really good opportunity he's going to start game 2. And then after that, I don't want to look that far down the road. Again, if we win the game, the first game, we get to play the second game, and it's not going good, we're going to pitch guys that need to pitch.
We'll have Hog Reaction here on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and our Hit That Line Now app powered by Taco Bell Live from Hoover later on. Our SEC baseball coverage has been presented all week long by Crabtree RV Center in Alma, the largest selection of new and pre-owned RVs in Arkansas. Get your summer planning started at CrabtreeRV.com and come by and see them at the junction of I-40 and I-49 in Alma. They've been making family dreams come true for over 75 years. And by Cover's Boat Center in Fort Smith. They've got a massive selection of aluminum boats, pontoons, wake and surf boats, bass boats, and more. The best boat storage in town. Find them online at Cophers.com. That's COPHERS.com. As we're here at the Hoover Met this morning.
So what's the weather going to be like at 3 o'clock today there in
it's
Hoover,
perfect.
Alabama?
Yeah, it's in the 70s. Let's see. At 3 o'clock, it is 70s, 83. So it'll be a little, it's a little, but it's not bad. It's not getting above. It's topping out at 83. So it'll be about 80 when the game concludes tonight. Can't ask for much better than that, to be honest. There's been a breeze, and I know we're on the second level here at the Hoover Met, but it's been enjoyable. I had nothing to complain about this week, and kind of like we've been talking about, I understand, Tommy, why they've kept it here. They invested in the ballpark. Yeah. It's kind of a center point like Nashville is in the Southeastern Conference.
Not really, but okay.
from Birmingham and Alabama?
I don't think it's very central if you live in Arkansas, or especially if you live in Texas. But anyway, carry
but from
on.
the SEC, I'm not talking about for Arkansas. From the SEC,
from an SEC standpoint, I think there's other more central points. But anyway, they're not going to move it. We can argue all we want. It's not going to be in Memphis, which it's an unfair advantage I'd like to have for Arkansas moving forward. But in a better ballpark if you move to Memphis. But I know there's concerns there. But listen, Hoover stepped up as a community. The league got in partnership with them, and there's a nice AA ballpark across town. They're not playing in it. They're going to play there because essentially, in a de facto kind of way, the SEC owns that ballpark. If you want to get down to it.
Mm-hmm. It's cool they do play high school football here, which I found kind of interesting as well. But that gets underway in less than an hour from now. Arkansas softball team gets underway against Ole Miss as well.
That's right. Hey, it's Fastball Friday. It's brought to you by QC Kinetics. They've been on the cutting edge of the medical revolution and helping people with joint pain since 2018 using regenerative medicine. They have helped tens of thousands of people get lasting pain relief in their joints using natural treatments that harness your body's own healing power. Truth is, regenerative medicine used to be an alternative treatment, but now it's pretty mainstream. Call QC Kinetics. They're right here in our own backyard in Northwest Arkansas. 479-999-1234 is their number. 479-999-1234 for QC Kinetics.
Market time of that, 10:16 Central Standard Time. This OKC team looks different. They look very different.
Another second half explosion. And the Thunder are 2 wins away from the NBA Finals.
So good for the Oklahoma City Thunders. They get by the Minnesota Timberwolves last night. They'll head to Minnesota up 2-0. Tonight you'll have Indiana and the New York Knicks going back at it in that series and everything else. Tommy, I know we were talking about the conclusion of Texas and Tennessee last night, which won the extra innings. I know our buddy Bruce Stan was watching. Were you kind of going back and forth? Were you watching a combination of SEC baseball and then?
Yeah, I mean that game tightened. I mean it was what, 20? Was it 24 at the half? It got to 24 at one point, and then that game got down to 10 in the fourth quarter. Thunder, I don't want to say they nearly messed it up because about the time it got to 10, they'd run it back up to 15 or 17 every time. And I guess, do we call him the other Jalen Williams? How do Thunder fans separate the
J-Dub and J-Will?
I mean, okay, so ours is J-Will, right?
Correct.
All right, so J-Dub had a big night last night for the Thunder. So I guess if you're on the outside looking at it, you're just looking at a box score, you better know which one you're looking at on a box score before you get carried away.
Yeah, he struggled a little bit because a rookie last year in the playoffs, but he has come on as of late, which has been encouraging as well. I do have something to disclose to not just YouTube but our audience. So I just got a Facebook notification from you calling the golf picture I put up vacation. So
it looks like a glorious vacation you're on down there.
Hold on,
Hoover Country Club, ahoy polloi.
Hold on. All right, so yesterday, on the 9th hole, I snapped my 7-iron.
Oh, look at this picture, Colton. This is incredible. It's like he's playing at Augusta.
It looks beautiful.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Hey, what game was being played during that time?
Yeah.
It was the hold on, let me look at my sheet.
Yeah.
It was the
look at the
I think it was the Tennessee and Texas game that went to the extras before the Oklahoma and Vanderbilt. But nevertheless, let's get by that. Let's just
Tommy, why do people make fun of me on our station? You don't know why? Here's why.
I'm being honest. I'm being honest here. So I had snapped my 7-iron in half a week ago, and we get to the 9th hole. I'm 150 out. 150 out to me is a 7-iron. I can't hit it that far, but it's my 7-iron. So I pull out a 6, thinking, well,
hang on. You're glossing over. How did the 7-iron break?
I snapped it on the driving range.
How?
I hit the ground and it snapped, or I hit the ball and hit the ground.
So this wasn't a fit of anger.
No, it just came off. So yesterday, 9th hole. We only played 9 holes yesterday because I had to get back and work.
Sorry, we interrupted you.
Yeah, we get to that, and I hit it good. And the setup at Hoover Country Club, the cars are relatively close to the 9th green. So the ball keeps traveling and traveling and traveling. Sure enough, just drills a car. Now, we're 150 out, so we have no idea which one. So I get up there, I'll walk up there, and I'm seeing an older man, an older gentleman, his wife, and his friend. And I'm thinking, well, I'm about to get chewed out. This Arkansans on this Alabama golf course, and I'm going to get ripped to shreds. So I get up, and they are dying laughing. They are it hoots. And I had pulled out a scorecard, and I'd written my number down because I was just going to leave it on the windshield, be like, hey, I did this. Call me back or whatever. Here's the deal. We get up there. We can't find the damage on the vehicle anywhere. We look at all 6 of them. There was one that drove off, so it might have been the one that drove off. But we get up there, and there's no damage anywhere, and so I gave it to one of the cart boys, Tommy. Is that – I mean, you've hit a car in your day. Is that a situation – did I do the right thing by just giving a –
I wouldn't have left a note. I'd have just, hey, they should have parked there.
That's the thing. Like there has to be some decorum on and some common courtesy. It's like, yeah, there's occasionally a golfer here that's not good like me. You shouldn't have it that close to the green. Nevertheless, I might be out a few $100 based on that occurrence yesterday.
Well, so you never found a car with damage?
No. And the guy up top said, it's like, you probably just hit a wheel. You're good. He was like, don't worry about it. They can afford it. He said something in the nature of they can afford it or something like that.
Oh, yeah, you're playing at a pretty ritzy place. I mean, Colton, maybe if we pool our money together and we save our...
You think we can get one round there,
maybe
Tommy?
Save some. Maybe we could get 9 holes there ourselves.
They gave me a discount.
Oh, the Ty Richardson discount.
I just, I just said I work with Tommy Kraft and they gave it to me. But I felt I needed to assure myself that I did the right thing from someone of your stature that's hit a car before. And I don't want to get sued or the station gets sued or anything else. I just want to make sure I did everything that I was supposed to on that. Sounds like I did. We're good?
Right. I think you. I still don't buy your story that your 7-iron just broke on its own. Golf clubs don't just break on their own.
I mean, I hit it and it hit the ground.
You don't. I've seen you hit. Now you hitting the ground.
I hit a lot of power behind it. And, I mean,
into the parking lot. So. I still, Colton, you buying any of that? I'm not buying it. Clubs don't just break.
Look, I've had some fishing rods that just broke too, so I know where he's coming from. I think.
I think there was some whirly-bird action at some point.
I hit the ball.
Probably some damage to a golf cart somewhere.
There had been in the past. It was probably over time. It just initially snapped in half. But I figured our audience would want to know that I hit a car yesterday. It gives them some more ammo to mess with this morning.
Hey, we're brought to you by Andy's Frozen Custards. They've got locations in Fort Smith, Conway, and in North Little Rock as well. At Andy's Frozen Custards, they'll take care of you. They got the Pick 6. Wouldn't that be perfect for Memorial Day weekend? Mix and match 6 of your favorite flavors. And what you could do is what Ty would do. Take all 6 home for yourself. Don't share them with anybody. And that way you got 6 different flavors for the entire weekend. Andy's Frozen Custards. Download the app in the App Store or stop in and see them on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. 2 locations in Conway on East Oak and Dave Ward Drive at JFK Boulevard in North Little Rock. Walk up or drive through. They're ready to serve you at Andy's Frozen Custards.
Gavin in Fayetteville texting in, if you park next to a hole, you're only asking for it, and you deserve it.
I never park with my windshield facing the hole at the course we play. I will park further away to avoid that.
That's just that's asking for trouble.
It's called common sense. Yeah.
Every once in a while, there's a slice on that.
Every once in a while.
Every once in a while. We got this. We got some changes with the college football playoff. Brad Crawford's going to join us momentarily, but I want to get a thought or two on this before we get into our SEC update. Straight seeds 1 through 12. Last year, the top 4 conference champions were selected 1 through 4. Then this year, it's not. It's just 1 through 12. The top 5 conference championships still get auto bids, but they're going to get seeded 1 through 12. This seems like a step in the right direction. I don't know if we're all the way there just yet, where the college football playoff needs to be, but at least I think after year 1, I think the college football playoff selection committee, it's not like Arkansas is going to be involved in this. I wish they were, but I think they learned their lesson after year 1 of this 12-team playoff that I don't think everyone was completely satisfied with.
Yeah, listen, I think this team's in a spot. I mean, if you're Texas right now, do you feel like you're now further away from the national championship?
Texas?
Yeah, and I'm trying to kind of redirect back to your question here, but I don't want to get too carried away about what happens this week because my point is you could win the whole thing and not win the national title, or if you're Texas, you're one and done. You think Texas is now out of the national championship picture?
We're talking football. Are you talking baseball?
Well, I thought you were talking. I was still trying to figure out how you broke your 7-iron. Maybe I didn't hear your question. I thought you were talking about the baseball team.
No, the college football playoff.
What the? Okay. Sorry. My bad. Are we on the air? Start the tape over.
Okay, the college football playoff has changed the seeding 1 through 12.
Okay, I thought you were talking about seeding in that tournament. Never mind. I was distracted. My bad.
Okay.
The egg is on my face.
Okay. Okay, let's just go to our SEC update. Right. We'll get to that next year.
I got thoughts on that seeding. I'm waking up.
We'll still wake up this morning. We're live at the Hoover Met, getting ready for this Arkansas baseball game coming up at 3 o'clock against Ole Miss, and then LSU and Texas A&M will follow it. More SEC updates when we come back.
Postseason baseball is brought to you by Crabtree RV Center in Alma, Arkansas. Crabtree RV Center, making family dreams come true for over 75 years. Always on. Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download.
The success you've already had matters at University of Maryland Global Campus because we're a school for real life. An accredited state university, UMGC lets you earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning, life, and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer affordable tuition and online and hybrid courses. No application fee if you apply by May 30th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
This building is one of the toughest to play in.
This is the Morning Rush.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Do you need closure on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. With an unheard of 15-year spring warranty option, Grit is the team you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
The Solid Rock has been locally owned for over 46 years. When was the last time you were there? So much more than a bookstore. They have Christian t-shirts, church supplies, Bible studies, devotionals, home decor, gifts, and of course, a large selection of Bibles. And Bibles are engraved free of charge while you wait. Now, you can get custom laser engraving on select gift items and some Bibles. Located next to Sam's Club on South 74th, The Solid Rock is your source for faith-based books, music, clothing, and more. The Solid Rock, 452-4844.
At Evans Body Shop, we take pride in delivering exceptional customer service to our customers. Here's what some of them have to say.
They keep us posted at every stage. We get phone calls saying it's going to the paint shop or the parts have come in, and they've always just exceeded everything that we hope to have.
They do absolute fantastic work. Never have any complaints from anybody I know. My family has gone to them, my friends. I refer everybody I know to Evans Body Shop.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion. You know, every game is a dogfight.
About the tough there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
The Hawks have finally it's the first SEC tournament championship for Arkansas. Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
That ball's hammered. Deep right center field. Can anybody catch up to it? No. Off the glove of Gasparino. Abernathy scores. 2 runs come home. It is 7-5 Tennessee.
Will the real UT stand up? Tennessee Volunteers did yesterday in the 12th inning as they win 7-5 over the number 1 seeded Texas Longhorns. They're replaying it, Tommy, right here at the television right behind me. That was the best game maybe of the weekend thus far.
Game. Yeah.
Bruce was excited about it. I know Craig Adair was excited about it. Tennessee starting to get hot, I guess. We'll see if they continue on. You've got them in the championship. I've got them in the championship. I think Tennessee might be the team to beat here these next few days.
You know, and just watching the game yesterday, watching that one, but then, just watching the other games, those tees next to each other out on the wall, it looks like they accidentally repeated.
Dude,
they're almost, one's a little burnt orange and the other one's a little more volunteer orange, but they just need to put the horn symbol out there, right? And I would prefer upside down, but just put the hook 'em horns out there. Those things, it doesn't look good side by side on TV, actually.
No, it doesn't. That caught my eye earlier, and I had to legitimately think which one is which. But the Tennessee is a little
one on
lighter.
the right is the Texas one, if I remember.
Correct.
And it's got a hint of burnt orange in it, but not much. So
yeah,
that was a swing and a miss from the league office on that. But that's a very minor thing.
It's got them up on the wall. It does look good. Again, 7 and 7 on, or excuse me, 8 and 8 on each side. So I will say the aesthetic, the appeal of this, with the exception of that, it looks really clean on the ballpark. But again, Tennessee advances. Texas now getting ready for their regional. Arkansas also, again, preparation. If you want to win today, I get it. It's Ole Miss. You want to beat them in Bogle Park. You want to beat them in the Hoover Met. But Dave talked about it yesterday. It's about next weekend.
Obviously, we're thinking about next weekend a lot. So, we're lining up our pitching where we can throw them Friday or Saturday. If they throw Friday or Saturday here, we could flip them. We could throw somebody else on Friday. Obviously, we got to get through the weekend, and we need to make sure everybody's healthy and feeling good. But if everything goes as planned, whether we win 3 games, 2 games, or we get out of here after tomorrow, we'll figure out who we're playing, and then we'll make some decisions.
Is there a scenario you'd like to play out here these next few days for Arkansas? I mean, do you want them to win? Do you want them to win today and then lose? Do you want them to win 2 games and lose the last one? Like, what is in the mind of Tommy, what is the perfect scenario for this baseball team here in the next few days here in Hoover?
Well, I think the perfect scenario is to win the tournament. It's another weekend. You don't play till next Friday. Tell me what the downside is to playing 3 games. Other than risk of injury, what is the downside to playing and perhaps winning 3 games in a conference championship?
I think that the injury is the only aspect that
that's it. I mean, and listen, there's risk of injury, tripping, getting on the bus, right? So I I get it. The kid from A&M, he's done. As a result of that broken knuckle last night, Jace. But Lavallee. But point is, they're going to have practice, right? They're going to come back, and it's not like they're going to sit on their cans. Something like that could happen. Taking BP in the cage, right? If that's the only thing you got, I'd say let's just go try to win 3 and have a lot of confidence going into your regional.
Yeah, I come from the standpoint of win today, maybe lose tomorrow. You get 2 games in. I don't think it's that important.
So how's that meeting go with Dave and the team? Hey, I know it's Saturday. You've been gone since Wednesday. Let's just go. I'm going to go out here. We're going to pitch the right fielder.
I'm just saying we're asking the personnel from from the personal standpoint. If I had my druthers, I would like to beat Ole Miss today, and then.
Is that because you want to come home or what?
No. I'm just saying I'd have to look at it. I know Tennessee burst through and won the first College World Series since '99 as the number 1 overall seed, but.
Do you see any way if Arkansas do you see any way really anyone other than Texas is going to be the number 1 overall seed? No, I don't either. So take that off the table.
Unless LSU wins it, maybe. But I would still think Texas.
Is that still a jinx too? By the way.
Well, that's what I was alluding to. I know you had mentioned when that I'd have to look up the last time the SEC champion has won the national championship. I'd have to admit. Maybe it's been that long. Maybe it was Tennessee last year. I can't remember. Colt, if you could look that up for us, that'd be great. But we'll get into that coming up. But that's just in my mind, my head.
Yeah.
All right. You mentioned Jace Laviolette. He's got cast. Doesn't look like he's going to go not just for the rest of the tournament, but for the rest of the season. Bummer for him. He's one of the best players in baseball. He's the best Texas A&M Aggie.
Is there a rest of the season for A&M?
Well, they did win. They beat Auburn 3-2 yesterday.
I know, but without him, I don't see them beating LSU. I guess I should, put it into the context. But
6 o'clock later on today.
I guess they're a couple wins away from playing. I don't think they're in the at-large field, even with a win over LSU.
They got to get 3. They got to win today, tomorrow, and Sunday.
Maybe just getting to Sunday would get them in, which would mean they'd have to beat Arkansas or Ole Miss, but. And LSU, obviously.
Their first-year head coach, you think about it, they lost Grahovic at the beginning of the season, and then they lose their best player in postseason. And I know they were started as number 1, and now they're not going to make the tournament. He's had a bad year 1.
They kind of got written off for dead early, and they made a little bit of a run and beat Arkansas and a couple teams. And then they went back to playing dead. So I don't know. They've had a roller coaster ride, to say the least. So.
Yeah. All right, that is your SEC update here live from the Hoover Met.
And it's brought to you by Mock Legal Solutions. They now have an office location in Sallisaw, also in Fort Smith, and they're there to take care of you, whether it's a family law matter, maybe you've been involved in a vehicle accident, and you're dealing with insurance companies and doctors, and the bills are piling up. Jackie can go to work for you to make sure that insurance check is right for you. They also understand that, hey, you don't have a big retainer laying around, and maybe you don't understand all the fees that get charged. That's why they offer easy-to-understand flat fees, so you know what it is going in, and low-down payments and payment plans that make sense for you as well. Go to mocklegalsolutions.com. That's mocklegalsolutions.com, or call 479-769-1505.
All right, when we come back, we're going to talk to Brad Crawford, 24/7 Sports, changes within the college football playoff, thoughts on Sam Pittman, 99 days out till Arkansas as well.
I love hearing that countdown at the top of the hour. Hey, one thing that would be great, I know it's forecast a little wet for the weekend, but, man, how'd you like to know that you're trying to wrap up work today, maybe slide out a little early, and Gaston's is in your plan for the weekend? Man, what a great deal. Make that possible for 4th of July or maybe Father's Day weekend that's coming up. Maybe it's a little late for you to make the plans for this weekend, but we've still got several great summer weekends ahead, or just create one that's yours. Take a Friday to Monday. Have you a long 4-day stay and go to Gaston's for what is really one of the great treats in all of our state, and that's the White River and Gaston's White River Resort. If you're going to be road tripping this weekend, stopping at Gaston's for a great meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Call ahead for reservations at 870-431-5202 and enjoy a great meal overlooking the White River. That's all at Gaston's White River Resort. More details, menus, and lodging information online at gastons.com. Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time every time.
Root kicks and deals. He struck him out swinging.
This is Fastball Friday on the Morning Rush. Presented by QC Kinetics. Get real lasting relief from chronic joint pain.
Protect what matters most with the Fence Man. From heavy-duty security fencing to powered automatic gates, the Fence Man's got Fort Smith covered. The Fence Man has served the Fort Smith area for over 40 years. Custom built and built to last. Free quotes, financing for 18 months. When it comes to security fencing, nobody builds it better than the Fence Man. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanAR.com. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
I'm going to do just fine. The Ducks are going to take it on 10.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're looking for the best used car your money can buy, check out our great selection of road-ready certified vehicles with warranty. If you're trading or selling your car, let us give you a free second opinion and leave with a check in your hand. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in the Meineke Car Care Center. Plus, follow us on Facebook for special offers and fun contests. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050, COP CDL Academy.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett with River Valley Smile Center. We dial 782-8940.
Coach Todd Holland, head baseball coach of the University of Arkansas Fort Smith Lions. I call 782-8940.
Stay cool this summer with a York High Efficiency HVAC unit. Or for more information on endless hot water and high efficiency tankless water heaters, give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jazzco Graphics, now 17 years in the industry. What all y'all service here at Jazzco?
We do food trucks, cars. We do custom banners, signs for big and small businesses. We do logos, stickers, you name it, we just about do it all right here at Jazzco. Jazzco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jazzco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
Have you heard? TGI Fridays is having happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 till 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. to close with half-price drinks and $5 select appetizers, including potato skins, spinach dip, pot stickers, and much more. Plus, you can get in on 50-cent Wing Monday from 5 p.m. to close. And karaoke on Tuesdays and Thursdays starting at 8 p.m. It's all at TGI Fridays, I-540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Hit that Hotline Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
All right, we're back here on the Morning Rush live from Hoover. Brad Crawford set to join us momentarily. We're also going to get to Big Keith here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline as well, Tommy.
All right, should be fun. Fastball Fridays brought to you by QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative care. We'll tell you more about them coming up. Have your roof been damaged recently in the wind and the hail that we have had seemingly all spring long, but particularly this week? I think a lot of the state saw some kind of wind or hail damage this week. And then you look at some of the pictures from Springdale and other parts of our state, it has been pretty incredible, the size of the hail in some pockets of our state. If you think you've got damage to your home, your roof, maybe some of the other things around your home, call my friend Brother Alexander with Brothers Roofing. One of their team will be out, inspect your home. They'd love to do it with your insurance adjuster. So as adjusters start making rounds, get on cue with Brother, and their staff will be there and go over it shingle by shingle with your adjuster to make sure you maximize your insurance claims. They can make sure the guttering looks right, the siding and soffits and fascia on your home, all those look right as well. You need a pro. That's why you can trust Brother Alexander. 479-353-3877 is the number. 479-353-3877 for Brothers Roofing and Restoration.
We bring in our friend Brad Crawford, 24/7 Sports, CBS Sports college football writer. And Brad, is as much as we are immersed in college baseball right now here in Hoover, still got a lot of questions about football this upcoming fall. I guess to ask you first, kind of your initial thoughts. Sam Pittman entering another season at the helm of the University of Arkansas. They've got a brutal schedule once again. One of, I think, 5 returning starting quarterbacks in the SEC. Early thoughts on Arkansas 99 days out?
Yeah, I think Arkansas is certainly a bowl team this season. I don't think they're going to compete for an SEC championship. There's still some issues on both sides of the ball as far as depth is concerned. I like some of the portal additions. The former South Carolina receiver Omega Blake, Gamecocks were still in on him, and Arkansas was able to win his commitment. I think he can be a true wide receiver 1 type guy for this offense. A lot of NFL scouts I've talked to loves Taylon Green. I think he's an underrated quarterback at 6'6", 245 or so. He certainly has a Cam Newton-like body, and he's going to run a lot this year in Bobby Petrino's offense. And as far as Sam Pittman's future is concerned, I don't know if 6-6 is going to cut it. Sam Pittman kind of alluded to this week after hip surgery this offseason that this could be it for him. It might have been the plan originally, and still, I think if Arkansas surprises and were to go 8-4, 9-3, that would probably bring Sam Pittman back.
Brad, you mentioned Omega Blake. I was actually talking to a friend of mine here yesterday that's got some South Carolina roots, and he kind of said the same thing. In Columbia, he was thought to be he was going to be a really good wide receiver. Didn't work out. Goes to Charlotte, has a productive couple seasons, and now is heading to Fayetteville, like you talked about. What this wide receiver group? They lost like 6 of their 7 pass catchers, 7 or 8. Is Taylon just in a situation where he might be significantly better, the line might be better, but you just don't know what you got in the wide receiver corps?
That's probably got a lot to do with it. And, I think obviously with Braylon Russell and Mike Washington, those kind of guys in the backfield, it's going to be a run-heavy offense. But I do like some of these transfer weapons that Arkansas picked up. We talked about Omega Blake, and they got Monty Harrison back and those kind of guys. The Razorbacks is an offense that's probably not elite tier right now in the SEC, but it's certainly going to be a unit that can strike some fear in some of these top 20 opponents that Arkansas is going to play. I mean, this schedule, if you're an Arkansas fan, it's quite intimidating, but there's also major opportunity. I mean, the SEC opener at Ole Miss with a team that lost a lot of talent to the NFL draft. You get to host Notre Dame in September. That's an awesome game. I mean, that's a chance to beat a team that nearly won it all last year on your home field in the SEC. Notre Dame at Arkansas, man, is actually one of the non-conference games that I've kind of spotlighted this year as one that I see mega upset potential.
Yeah. Brad, as a lot of people want to talk about Taylon Green, this offense, who's going to be the wide receiver, but not a lot of conversation generally comes up about the defense. And I guess Cam Ball's a name that probably comes to mind when you think first about this defense. But how how competitive and how good and what kind of step forward do you think the defense can make this year?
Jaheim Singletary, Xavier Story, those kind of guys, Selman Bridges, you mentioned Cameron Ball. It's got to be a unit that forces turnovers. We've seen often that when Arkansas is positive turnover margin, it's a team that can challenge for that 7 or 8 win plateau in the SEC. And in a lot of close games Arkansas has lost, it's been that failed execution down the stretch, or maybe it's been giving up a key third down late in the game. I mean, Arkansas is going to face several top-end quarterbacks this season, and if that secondary, and especially edge rushers, if they can generate a pass rush and really get the ball back to Petrino's offense, Arkansas is a team that will finish above water in the SEC. There's just still some questions for me because of how brutal this schedule is. And in November alone, I think it's two top 10 teams, LSU and Texas, on the road, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So when you look at the depth chart, kind of what's out there coming out of spring, do you see how many big position battles do you see on the defensive side going into fall camp, and how might this depth chart as we perceive it now look different on defense for that first game with Alabama A&M?
Yeah, there's a couple of second teamers on defense that I think could obviously challenge for starting roles. I mean, the defensive coordinator there in Fayetteville has a lot to look at over fall camp, and especially when you consider that the schedule doesn't let up except for those first 2 weeks of the season. Good news for Sam Pittman is hosting Alabama A&M and then going to War Memorial to play Arkansas State. That's 2 games Arkansas should win, but we really aren't going to know who these 2025 Razorbacks are on the defensive side of the ball until that opener against Ole Miss in the SEC that comes September 13th. And then after that, you play at Memphis, a team that will probably challenge for one of the Group of Five's top spots in the ranking. So still a lot to be sorted out on the defensive side of the ball, but I do like the resources and investments the Razorbacks have made on that side.
We're talking with Brad Crawford, 24/7 Sports, CBS Sports college football writer this morning. Brad, college football playoff changes have just come about. There's no top 4 like from the conference champions. They're not doing it like that. Yeah. Still, the top 5 teams from that win conferences get auto bids. But just your initial thoughts on the changes that are happening for the second edition of the 12-team college football playoff.
Yeah, I love the changes. I mean, outside of expansion that we're probably going to see in 2026, this seeding change is a step in the right direction. Last season we saw that the 4 teams that received first-round byes as the top 4 seeds all lost. I mean, Oregon, 13-0 heading into the playoff as the top seed, had to play Ohio State in its first playoff game out in Pasadena. I was there for that one, and it's just Ohio State did not look like an 8 seed. So I think we're going to get the seeding fixed now that essentially we're going to see a power rating of college football's 12 best teams, sans 4 automatic bids and then the 5th and the G5. So I think they got it right. I think it benefits a program like Notre Dame because in the past, last year specifically, Notre Dame was not eligible for a top 4 seed because they're an independent, not in a conference. So if you're an Irish fan, you're liking this seeding process.
Brad, you mentioned Texas and Ole Miss a little bit earlier, 2 opponents that Arkansas has to play on the road. I wonder your thoughts. A couple of the teams that are like Nussmeier is obviously back for LSU, but there's no Nico for Tennessee. There's no Jackson Dart for Ole Miss, and there's no Quinn Ewers for Texas. Of those 3 teams without a returning starter quarterback, which one do you think Arkansas maybe has the best chance to poach a road win?
I think maybe that's tough, but Tennessee's a team that I think without Iamaleava, losing him to UCLA, it can't be understated how big a loss that is. I mean, credit Josh Heupel for, his program not wanting to pay Nico's asking price, but when you consider they lost Dylan Sampson last year, 20 touchdowns on the ground, and Nico was your starting quarterback that led you to a playoff berth, it's tough to let him go in the offseason, and then you replace him with a former App State quarterback, Joey Aguilar. So I do think that Arkansas coming off a bye in October, going to Neyland Stadium, perhaps that's a winnable game. But as far as the other 2 teams, man, LSU and Texas, those are 2 preseason top 10s in my own rankings. I think Garrett Nussmeier is one of the Heisman front runners for a reason. He's probably the 2026 top NFL draft pick if it's not Arch Manning. So you're talking about Arkansas probably has two of the toughest SEC games down the stretch in November.
Brad, do you believe in Arch? I mean, we're giving him all this hype because of
I'm a big-time Arch supporter. Yeah,
Okay.
I think he's going to have a really big year. The biggest question for me is Texas lost 4 offensive line starters.
Yeah.
And your quarterback's only as good as your left and right tackle, giving him time to throw. So if Sarkisian has not figured that out with the money that Texas has spent this offseason, I'd be surprised. But Arch Manning and the little we've seen him live, yeah, he's a heck of a quarterback.
We ever see parity again in college football? I mean, or is it just going to be the teams at the top remain the same 4, 5, 6 teams for the next decade?
Yeah, I think we're going to see every year there's always 8 to 12 teams, in my opinion, that have a realistic shot at winning multiple playoff games and winning it all. I mean, you may see some of those programs change over the next decade, but as far as resources are concerned, maybe a program like Oregon has not won a national championship yet, but, man, the Ducks have been knocking on the door for several years. I think Notre Dame has not won one since 1988, and with Marcus Freeman, it looks like the Irish have the right hire. So Miami, Notre Dame, Oregon, Tennessee, the teams that are spending the most right now in NIL are going to always be a threat.
All right, last question. Is that more about coaching? We used to think you just had to get the right coach, or is it more about spending now? What's the balance? Because I think the answer is both, but what's the balance in getting your program to the top? How much is it about NIL spending and rev share now and getting the right coach in place?
Yeah, I think player retention is huge. I mean, you look at a guy like Shane Beamer in South Carolina. Gamecocks obviously have never won a national championship, but they were able to keep Lenora Sellers and Dylan Stewart from signing elsewhere this offseason. Now, you have to have, boosters and NIL strength to keep some of your best guys. But, I mean, Taylor Green at Arkansas was another guy that I'm sure he got multiple offers to enter the portal and start somewhere else because of what a talent he is. So if you can have player retention every offseason and then go, pick maybe 7 to 10 portal guys that everybody else wants. We saw Brian Kelly at LSU. LSU was not spending 2 years ago. And then this cycle, #1 class in the country. So LSU has to make the playoff this year or Brian Kelly will be on the hot seat. But to get back to your further point, it's player retention, and I don't think it's necessarily the head coach.
Brad, before we let you go, Memorial Day weekend, we got any plans? I know you got football, fall camp stuff coming up. This is kind of the last few weeks that you can actually do something before you're working 15 hours a day. You got any plans this weekend, man?
Man, I recently sold a house, and I have to build a deck before the new buyer moves in. So I will be busy building a deck this weekend. Yeah.
Well, there's one guy. Hey, there's one guy right there, and Brad, that is praying for rain this weekend.
Yes.
Well, Brad, we appreciate you hopping on with us this morning. Good luck with that deck, and good luck with all that blue-collar work that's to come this weekend, brother.
Thanks
Good
a bunch, fella.
We'll see you in Atlanta, buddy.
What if you were told that, Ty? Hey, this weekend you've got to build a 10 by 12 deck on the back of your home, and
I'd call.
It's all up. No, you can't call it. You got to
man.
do it yourself. What are the? Where would you even know where to begin?
Yeah, just go get some wood. Go to work. I'd figure it out. It wouldn't be good.
It wouldn't be up to.
I don't know.
And listen, I couldn't do it either. So don't let my question make you believe that. Hey, I know what I would be doing.
You'd be better off.
I'd
than
be
me,
probably
though.
coming in here Monday with some bandages and some missing fingers. Probably what would be happening. Hey, we're brought to you by Farm Credit. In fact, speaking of sprucing up your home and adding a deck on the back, if you're looking for the right financing options to maybe build a brand new home or spruce up the one you got, Farm Credit can walk you through all of the options they have. They have 25 locations around our state to help you, and they got the right financing option that is best for you and your family. Go to myaglender.com, that's myaglender.com, or drop by any of Farm Credit of Western Arkansas's 25 locations today and get started on building more family memories.
All of our guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, and our listeners, including Big Keith, who's in Hot Spring this morning. He wanted to correct us on something. Big Keith, what did we get wrong earlier on this morning?
Keith.
No, Keith. Keith.
Guess we weren't that wrong.
He was going to get into it. We just we missed him by just a little bit. All right, here's my and probably Tommy's and Colton's Memorial Day plans.
And we will see, But from now, like next couple of days, there's going to be a lot of beer probably.
That was Nikola Jokic after the Denver Nuggets were beat by the Oklahoma City Thunder in Game 7 of the Western Conference semifinals. Are you going to the river? What are you?
I just came back from there. I was at Mountain Home yesterday. No, I'm going to enjoy Memorial Day in the fort. Tell you what I'd like to do is slide down to Clampett's Country Kitchen, see Joey, load up a cooler, come back and get on the grill. Maybe
it is National Cooler Day.
Well, it is. I mean, maybe for tonight you could have some ribeyes. Tomorrow he could do you some nice thick cut bacon and pork sausage for breakfast. Maybe some racks of ribs.
Got to bring back that beef jerky, Tommy.
And then and then the beef jerky in between all that from Clampett's Country Kitchen. That'd be a good one there. Maybe a brisket or a tri-tip or something for Sunday. And then Monday is Memorial Day more burgers and dogs, or is July 4th more burgers and dogs?
I think it fits for both.
Well, yeah, I agree, but I don't want to do burgers and dogs for both Memorial Day and July. I think it's burgers and dogs this weekend, and then like ribs and brisket and chicken and things like that for
a barbecue.
For July 4th. A real barbecue where we smoke meat, on the barbecue.
Get into this debate. Get into this debate. And then 10 minutes out from Arkansas taking on Ole Miss in softball to be on ESPNU. And we're about 4 hours out from Arkansas taking on Ole Miss here at the Hoover Met for a chance to play on Saturday here in advance to the SEC semifinals.
Yep, should be fun. And hopefully that decision to move the game up today. I mean, you look at the weather forecast, but for Northwest Arkansas, and I know the next couple of days it looks like rain, but I imagine even at 11 o'clock today, it's going to be a pretty full Bogle Field there today for an earlier start.
I had a chance to hear Dave Van Horn yesterday. They were at Hoover High practicing, getting ready for their game against Ole Miss. Here's what he said about being a top 4 seed in the Southeastern Conference.
I mean, it definitely changes things. I mean, we're just fortunate we were in the top 4, so we get to skip a couple rounds, get a couple days to catch our breath a little bit after, the 30-game SEC game. So, here we are. We play Friday. If we win, we'll go with our next pitcher, and it's kind of like a weekend series. But, the other thing is you have a little bit of pressure because it's win or go home.
And Texas found out firsthand there's not a given. I mean, a lot of these teams. So Arkansas, let's be honest, has less to gain than Ole Miss today. Arkansas is going to be a national seed. You're going to be in Fayetteville next week. And if you win that, you'll be in Fayetteville the following week for the Super Regional. As you stated, you won't play on the road the rest of the season. You'll be at home and neutral site from here on out. That's it. So
more home than neutral site, probably.
Yeah,
so,
for Ole Miss.
Depends on how long you last in Omaha, perhaps.
Yeah, for Ole Miss, it's more to gain today. So I wonder how that plays into today's action later on at 3 o'clock.
Our buddy Joey Clampett was listening. He said at Clampett, you don't have to choose between steaks and burgers. You can have both. So.
There you go.
All right, I'll be down, Joey. It's National Cooler Day, so I'll be down with my cooler. Hang out. I'll be there in just a little while for you. Hey, it's Fastball Friday, brought to you by QC Kinetics. They've been on the cutting edge of the medical revolution since 2018 with regenerative medical care, that they take the healing properties from your body and put them right in the joints where you hurt the most, giving you lasting joint pain relief using natural treatments that harness your body's own healing power. If your doctor has told you surgery, drugs, and downtime are the only way, well, there is a better way with QC Kinetics. 479-999-1234 is the number. 479-999-1234. And say goodbye to that chronic pain and live your best life this summer with QC Kinetics.
All right, our coverage continues live from the Hoover Met. Phil Elson is in the press box. He will be calling the game here momentarily for your radio purposes and everything else. So I screwed that up.
Yeah.
I apologize about that.
Yeah.
It was worse than my play-by-play.
Worse than that. That wasn't as bad as me earlier in the show.
No, you should have heard the play-by-play that I did yesterday.
Oh, I heard
it was
that.
Worse than radio history.
I was embarrassed for you.
So as I said, sponsored by Cofer's Boat Center and Crabtree RV Center. Halftime coming up. Phil's here at the ballpark. Then he'll step aside. Matt Jones, Big C, and I'll jump on with them the rest of the way. Everyone have a great rest of your Friday. Hog reaction later on tonight.
Crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad. Crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back,